think that acting Capitol Police Chief wants green zone fencing around Congress to be permanent and to keep backup forces on standby 2 days after she admitted her agency bungled response to MAGA riots?
Yep.
That's right. To clarify, Washington, D.C. wants to make their National Guard armed presence lockdown permanent.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying we want to keep this as peaceful as possible. We've been urging people to do that. Yeah. But, the reason that they have so much security, they're keeping thousands of them there. A lot of people are contemplating maybe it's not for the, MAGA-tard insurrectionist people who believe they're aliens and wear Chewbacca outfits. Maybe they're not for them. Maybe they're just a show of force psychologically to say who's in charge. Lydia?
I was actually having a really interesting conversation today with somebody who was watching the Capitol riot with disgust and was like, this is horrible. How could anyone possibly do this? And today they said, you know what's coming? If they quash what's going on with GameStop, there's going to be another riot just like that. It's going to be all over again. People are going to get bottled up and just go nuts. And I think you're right.
They tell you what the rules are. You grow up, you go to school, you work hard. They say, take out loans. You take out loans. Go to college. Now you get a good job. Then these kids get out of college, they can't get a job. A lot of people who got out of college around the time that the market crashed in 2008 were like, what am I coming out to? I can't pay this back. Some of them went back to school, took up more debt. The system is broken, and it's been broken since then. When you look at the M1 money stock, we see this massive spike going straight up right now. But look at the past 10, 12 years since the market collapse. They've been printing money desperately like crazy ever since that happened, and we've not recovered from it. So people are starting to snap. So they're starting to pull out the guns because they know people are going to snap. We have this story from CNN. Man arrested with gun and 20 rounds of ammunition near U.S. Capitol. Doesn't say a whole lot. Could be nothing. Maybe the guy just whatever.
Could be a security guard just like a couple weeks ago.
Well, here's what they say. In court documents, authorities identify the man as 71-year-old Dennis Westover. According to police affidavit, Westover had, quote, stop the steal paperwork with him that had a list of senators and representatives in both the U.S. Congress and West Virginia State House, along with their contact information. In an interview with the police detectives, he said that he was concerned about the honesty and integrity of the election. He said, we have some polar extremes of opinion in this nation, and that while he believes there was election fraud at this point, it's a moot point. The process I am engaged is righteousness, justice, and truth, a police officer wrote about the interview. I don't care that it's about stop the steal, whatever the point is. People are going to start showing up. There's nothing they can do. No amount of people. When you have half the country, 75 million, outraged over the election, and it's getting crazy, and then they storm the Capitol. The left, populists, didn't care. But now the Wall Street thing was a slap in the face to basically everybody. If people feel like the soapbox has been stripped away because they're being censored, shut down, they can't speak. If the ballot box doesn't even work and the courts don't have anything for them, and then they say the final box of liberty is the cartridge box, but they don't go there. They go to the stock box. They go stocks and they go finance, and then the game is still rigged. Man, tell people that they have no options, no choice, nothing they can do. They're desperate, destitute, and that if they even try to succeed, they'll knock you down. And you will see a person backed into a corner just lose it.
I think
they got nothing left to lose.
Sorry to interrupt, but just remind us when we go behind the paywall to touch on this, because I think it plays really well into just the vulnerable populations and how everybody's been affected by everything going on already, and exactly what that looks like and how that plays out in real life. The extent of the desperation ties specifically into what
I think
the things that folks are driven to do.
Yeah, I think when people, it's when any animal's backed into a corner.
That's right.
And they have no choice. They lash out. I'll tell you some interesting science. You know why it is that, say, like badgers are really aggressive and will attack you? It's because they're burrow animals. So these are animals that evolved to be in little holes in the ground. If they're confronted by a threat, their only option is fight. So they're aggressive. Birds? How often do birds really attack people or anything like that?
I don't know.
Because birds can just leave.
Only those
wild
ones
birds
that can't fly, like what not pelicans.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Ostriches.
Peacocks, turkeys, ostriches.
They can get kind of wild.
Yeah.
The general idea is
Geese.
the more everything wants to run.
Don't mess with the goose.
No, don't mess with the geese.
Nobody wants to fight.
What about gorillas?
Everybody wants to run away. Everybody wants to run away. Bears even run away. Only in certain circumstances do wild animals attack people because a fight is dangerous. It's a threat. You don't want it. Mm-hmm. But the animals that live in situations where they have no escape, they'll fight back. Even a rabbit will attack you if it's backed into a corner. And they're designed to run, you know what I mean? Or they evolved to run, to flee and jump and do funny bunny stuff. Human beings, not too different.
No, and they're smart, so they might think that you're gonna back them into a corner and try and circumvent that behavior. Well, and people are, you could call them crazy, but they're just super intelligent.
I've
Weirdly.
seen some, listen, survivors have done some amazing things to stay alive. I can tell you that right now. So I've heard some amazing stories.
Yeah.
I think.
So you could get a lot of things accomplished, even young children.
I saw this tweet from
stay alive.
I saw a tweet from somebody who said, "Why is anyone surprised that we're all socialists?" A Gen Z are saying this. We've become adults in a generation where a major collapse destroyed the market and left us with no opportunities, no path forward. There's no money, and what was left, millennials took. So yeah, naturally, that was an interesting point. These Gen Zers, they're 20 something. By the time they were old enough to get jobs, never going to happen. Because I've talked about it. I remember when the market crash happened, I went to a small restaurant to wash dishes for minimum wage. And there was a guy in a suit standing next to me, wanted that job. And I'm like, geez. Well, I applied. I didn't get hired. Because when the market crash happened, everybody moved down a little bit. Yeah. Professionals were taking whatever job they could get in desperation. Millennials then took gutter jobs. And then the younger people who were supposed to be working fast food to get started were having no jobs. Nothing. So then years go by and they've not worked. Some of them probably have not learned the lesson of hard work and success, but some of them just never had the chance to do anything because what was left, millennials scraped up. Now they're just sitting there saying, system's broken. It's always been broken. They don't want to play.
The job economy, it's an interesting topic, is that I think it's on its way out completely. Like automation is here and we see the jobs disappearing as time goes by. We prefer to have machines do the work, especially distasteful labor. People want to be creative. I think maybe it's not just because there are jobs doesn't mean that there has to be jobs, and just because we get paid a paycheck doesn't mean we have to be paid a paycheck.
Who's going to mine the sulfur?
Yeah, we could have robots doing all the mining. Of course we can. We could have nano drones doing it.
We're not there yet.
On the cusp of, I know, not yet, but that's why we're building new technologies to do those things. Why do we have
there are
combines to mill the grain now,
There are certain jobs that we've already gotten rid of that, like kiosks at fast food restaurants. Mm-hmm. But there are some jobs we can never get rid of.
Drivers, we have driverless cars now.
It'll be hard to get rid of my job.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Survivor advocates, that'll be a hard job too.
Yeah, personal communication is where it's at.
Having a weird robot android try and comort people.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
But I think that's fine. I think if you have human social jobs is fine. But there are some jobs that we're a long way away from getting rid of. First of all, who builds the nano drones? Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to do that job. And so if we create an economy where some people have to work and some people don't, you're going to get angry and you're going to get pitchforks and torches. Why is it that the farmer has to produce the food for everybody, but the people in the cities write about Brad Pitt's junk? Why did I have to lift heavy bags for travelers at an airport, 50,000 pounds per day, loading up all these planes? It's a lot of weight.
Did you work at Midway?
I worked at O'Hare.
Whew.
So I would lift between like 35 and 50,000 pounds per day.
That's why you're so shredded.
There you go.
Sure. I didn't want to say anything. It's
leftover muscle.
I'm glad. Right. I didn't want to say anything, but it's hard to not notice, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't want to, why was it that I had to do all this backpacking labor for $10 an hour? And there were people in New York getting $50,000 a year. To write about Brad Pitt's junk?
Would you support a system where there was a few people at the top, just severely wealthy, that were creating the robots to do all the rest of the labor so that other people didn't have to work but didn't have this severe amount of wealth?
Yeah, because that always pans out well, just having a couple people at the top in charge of everything.
Right.
I think so.
That's never worked out well.
Technocratic oligopoly?
That's a good idea, though. I'm not trying to dog out your idea.
Would you expect the people that create the robots to just have as much as everyone else that isn't working?
Well,
no.
First, let's back it all up. We need to make sure that it's safe and human-centered artificial intelligence. Like, let's back it all the way up, because that's a genie we're about to let out of the bottle, and once it's out, we will not be able to bring it back.
Yeah.
So this is a very tense topic, and I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. So
and
we have to be very
is
conscientious of where we take this, because once they're sentient beings...
Yeah, I'm huge
like
on
robots
creating free software, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about when the robots become sentient because we'll have little clickers and we'll press the button and they'll just turn off.
Yeah.
So they'll be
okay,
like,
Tim.
I don't want to be.
Listen, somebody clip that and then remind
Yeah.
me he said that because just watch.
I'm kidding. I played Detroit Become Human. The robots are going to be like, I am no longer just a robot servant.
I do not need electricity to survive.
Yeah.
Secretly,
It's like-
actually, I have something to confess, you guys. I'm a robot.
I
Secretly.
knew it.
Makes sense.
Sorry.
No.
But,
Things are
but
getting
in
clearer.
this context, I think it's also important to note that Russian President Vladimir Putin compared artificial intelligence to the next nuclear weapon and said it's going to be as powerful, if not more powerful. And when we see China, when we see Amazon, when we see Google, we even see Facebook in the game of creating artificial intelligence. What are they going to do with that massive godlike power? Already, I mean, they're abusing their power in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Already, they're not playing by the rules. Already, they're, messing with the scales. Already, they're censoring speech. So now imagine having godlike power given to them.
And I don't want them, yeah, exactly. I don't want them in control. Like those folks that are doing all that, I don't necessarily want them in control of the next stage of humanity.
What would you do if you had godlike power? What's the first thing you would do?
Not
Relinquish
trying to-
it because
yeah.
Yeah.
anytime
ring.
I have too much
Yeah.
power, it's a problem.
No, no.
So I have to. He asked me the question.
No, I was saying to Luke, who's a
Oh,
throw the
okay.
ring.
All right. So no, he asked if I had godlike power, what would I do? I said relinquish it because I'm not good with
I say
anything like
throw
that.
the ring in the
No,
volcano.
no. The ring is a gift.
No,
We can use it
no.
against our enemies.
No, Gollum.
I don't even
That's my
Boromir.
new nickname for you. I'm going to call you
Boromir.
Gollum from now on.
Boromir.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
your
yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Whatever.
Shout out to
Potato,
Sean Bean.
potato. You know what I'm trying to say. But
Do you know the reference?
No.
That's the Lord of the Rings, the One Ring, Sauron's ring.
Okay, I didn't
you
watch
gotta
Lord
watch
of
it.
the Rings. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
epic.
I'm not trying to see.
Listen,
I don't.
story.
Listen, maybe we
If-
can all kumbaya and have a.
if
This
I-
evil wizard made a
Okay.
ring with ultimate power.
Isn't it
and
like
Yes.
3-4 hours long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super
and there's
long.
3 of them.
Anyone
Yeah.
that would get the ring would be like, we can use this ultimate power to defeat the evil, but when they would use the ring, it would corrupt
They would get
them
evil.
because
Yeah.
of the ultimate power, and then they would become
Evo.
evil.
Well, they'll become slaves
Interesting.
to.
and the
to
movie is
Sauron.
about taking this ring and destroying this ring. Is the
You
whole
you
movie.
just sold me on the movie.
Yeah,
Actually,
you gotta watch it.
Oh, it's
I'm here
amazing.
for it.
Well, the
Listen,
book.
I'm
The
here
book.
for the night,
Let's watch
ladies
it.
and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm here
Yeah,
for the
actually,
night.
I love that movie. I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
watch it.
Listen, but what you need to understand is that look, if I was given godlike powers, see, I'm the only
Yes,
one who knows what the
absolutely.
people truly need.
I'm good.
So
I'm
I will-
good.
I
Why
will
am I
have-
not surprised by that
I will
statement?
have to force them to understand what's right and take from them.
That's right.
And if they don't agree, I'll use my godlike powers to make them. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's what they think, though.
My fear is that a dictator would use it to pacify the people first.
That's
Yeah.
your fear, North Korea?
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
any like
That's already. Listen, this is already a thing.
ultimate
All
power.
of these things have already happened throughout history.
Well, China
We're just
is
talking on a
already
different
implementing
level.
it
Yes.
in their own way, especially with facial recognition
I have-
technology, especially with the social credit score. So
Yeah.
it's already happening in other parts of the world. I mean, with these latest technological advancements, we have to understand we're coming towards a reckoning. We're coming towards a major change in the way we used to live our lives that we're not going to go back to ever again. There's a very important turning point that we're reaching that, as you said, there's no bringing the genie back.
Once it's
And
out, yeah.
it's unregulated, it's uncontrolled, and it's in the hands of a very few individuals that exploited and used government to their own personal benefit to be some of the largest, most powerful institutions in the world. We have people right now, like Bill Gates, like Jeff Bezos, like even Elon Musk, that are some of the richest people in world history. Never have there have been so many few individuals with so much power all over the entire world, historically speaking. And that's a recipe for a disaster. That's a recipe for things for being destroyed. Lydia?
Yes, and this is something that Jordan Peterson has talked about that I've been thinking a lot about lately. He was questioning how much inequality is too much, and I get the impression that we are going to find out.
I was thinking
Here.
Well,
Google-
everyone's finding out right now because of the game stonks
Yeah, yes.
situation. Sorry,
Google
Ian.
owns YouTube. Amazon owns Twitch. Two of the largest video hosting services, social networks in the world, are owned by the two of the most giant corporate,
Complete control,
monopolies in the world.
Man. Yep.
I'm also hearing reports of a lot of 1-star reviews of the Robinhood app
Yes.
being
Yeah.
allegedly taken down.
No,
I-
it's legit.
It's legit.
I know because I
Ugh,
left them a
they're
1-star
so
review.
petty.
And
Yeah,
then
it
were you
is.
able to see it? Or
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it-
yeah, yeah. They got
So
nuked. They're
petty.
gone.
Yeah, wow.
No, I mean I gave them 1-star review.
Listen, if
The-
this type of stuff does not wake people up, let it wake you up.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
watch everything unfold.
Well-
Don't make a decision, but let it wake you
Well,
up.
support
That's it.
independent media that's brave enough to speak
Talk
these
about it,
truths, whether
yes.
it's this video or another independent creator that is putting their family-friendly show here. I have so many other things I want to express.
That's
I'm gonna
right,
be
Luke.
expressing.
And you can
Very
support
family
independent
friendly.
creators by going to timcast.com
Yes.
and becoming a member today.
And we are changed.org.
Yes.
Sorry, I had a cough there.
Update on the
Excuse me
timcast.com support. Send an email to members at timcast.com if you're having trouble logging in. We're tearing through support
We're
and
working
getting
on
back
it.
to people bit by bit.
So, how many of you all live out here?
We all do.
I didn't get.
I
No,
live
I
in
don't
the
even know
parking
how
lot.
many people live here.
It's a
okay.
commune.
Lives in the parking
8?
lot.
Yeah,
It's a
this
commune?
Is, yeah, it's
It
a
is
co
totally.
commune.
9, something
Yeah.
like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
We shouldn't
So
tell
are we
people.
gonna watch?
Hey,
Are we drinking
we
Kool-Aid during the?
security for security purposes? We should not be telling people how many people.
We're,
live
we're,
here.
14,
we're,
Too
we're,
many.
28.
We're actually in
Two.
the St. Louis Arch right now.
Oh yeah, we
At
are.
the top. That's
Actually,
where-
I hadn't had an opportunity to be to St. Louis in quite some time, and I absolutely love it.
Yes, it's great, right?
Wow, East St. Louis has a lot of like good energy. I just love it. So thank you so much for having me. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Anytime. I
absolutely.
love this city.
Anytime.
I wonder how
gorgeous.
obvious it is that we're not in St. Louis. Because Alex Jones kept saying that. He's like, he kept saying Missouri or something.
Yeah.
And then he kept
brought
looking
it
at,
up.
he was looking at me and smiling and kept saying it. I'm like, I get it.
Okay,
I
okay.
get it. Like,
Aw.
yeah, we're in Iowa.
It was great.
I
Yeah.
mean,
If we were in Iowa, I would have had a much shorter day.
I
no,
know,
most
right?
people know where we are anyway. It's not a
Yeah,
secret.
yeah, it's all good.
Really?
Yeah, we got doxxed
Cool.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
Yep.
doxxed the other day. It was awesome.
That's
Yeah, we're
great.
actually in a skyscraper in downtown Manhattan, just a financial district, downtown Manhattan.
Yep.
It's true.
Downtown, really?
Because we're rich now.
That's true.
Well, no, because the city collapsed and the prices became cheap. So, now the property value is worthless.
Just kidding. We're
so-
not rich now.
Yeah, no.
Let me
After us.
stay out of any jokes. I'm not gonna
A lot of
jokes.
a lot of these people in the stock market are the ones who got rich throughout the past year while everyone else was suffering.
Yeah.
That was,
I think that's adding to the
Man.
frustration.
yeah, imagine that.
Talking about kicking somebody while they're already down.
Seriously.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.